this walk may seem easy initially. Sometimes it may even be fun. Because once the Spirit is inside of us and we're doing the work, it's great. But we have to remember, it's not easy, nor is it ever going to be. What did Yeshua say? What they done to me, they shall do unto you, right? Even Yeshua struggled at the end with how people punished him and treated him, his own people. So even if the word that created this planet, that created us, struggled with that, well then we're kidding ourselves if we think we're not going to go through anything hard. As a matter of fact, I've made it my whole perception to always be ready. Okay, I know this looks easy, but it must not be. Because it can't be. Not if we're in this walk. Because Almighty is going to take every opportunity to build us up. And that's what we ask of him, right? Father, you help me in this, help me in that. Well, he can't just give it to you. We have to earn it. If we ask for patience, well then we can't just automatically have patience. There has to be a trial period that'll help us earn that patience. Because if you just give someone something without them having to earn it, what are they going to do about that? They are not going to appreciate it. More or less, they're not even going to be able to keep it. The same thing goes with anything that we ask of the Father. It's not just going to be handed to us. We have to earn it. No matter what it is. We said that we need love the most, right? And we keep asking the Father to give us more love, to fill us up with more love, even faith. But like the word says, be careful for what you ask for. Because it's, under this whole time, until this moment, I had this delusion that it's just going to be given to me. But that is not and has never been the case. No matter how blessed Israel is, we still have to earn it at some point. And I guess that's another way of, the word that says much is given, much is required. Because maybe even to receive what is given, we have to go through something. Even receiving the down payment of the Ruach HaKodesh, we have to do something. And the down payment we can give is surrender ourselves. But sometimes we even struggle with that. So we can never think that it's easy. We always have to recognize that it's hard, because if you have the mindset that it's easy, then you're going to take it easy. But if you have the mindset that it's hard, then you're going to prepare, you're going to meditate, you're going to do everything you can within yourself before you take that step. And that's what the Father wants with us. We can't just go out there and do what we have to do thinking we got it. That's never going to work. If we expect the word to just suddenly burst out of us, even though we've never read a single word of this book, it ain't going to happen. Because one, you never had any knowledge of it. And two, you're not going to have the confidence when it happens. So we have to look at it like it's hard. We can't cheat our way into the kingdom. That's what this whole thing is all about. Because someone got in, and look what happens. What is it, a third of heaven that fell down with Satan? To the Father, that's one of the most painful things to happen, right? So he doesn't want that to happen again. So there is no cheating on this test. It's only preparation. But as like I said, time and time again, this temporary tabernacle is a preparation for the real tabernacle. So we always have to constantly prepare, right? But even as I say that, it seems to me that I'm a hypocrite. Because I say prepare, prepare, but what am I doing? I'm sitting down watching TV, playing video games. Now I say that like I'm making fun of myself, but that's a serious thing. The expectations that the Father has is sometimes, I would say, a little bit more expected of through his apostles, through his teachers, through his pastors, because it's these people that everyone else is looking into. If these people cause even a single drop of blood to happen for the lambs, well then there's nothing left for them. So we may, I may want to be a preacher or a pastor one day, but that's treading treacherous ground. You can't take a misstep because you're not living just for you. You're not just looking at yourself. You have other people looking to you. So we have to be careful what we ask for. No matter how much self pride we have, okay, I want to be a pastor one day. It's not easy. Time and time again, Brother Isaac and my dad has told me it's not easy. But the thing is, and the great thing about it is, that man does not choose. Man doesn't get to choose and should never choose these positions. It's Almighty Yah who chooses. Because no matter how much you want it, if you are not meant to be in it, it's not going to work. And the lambs will be able to see that. Take a pack of wolves. There's an alpha. And that alpha decides what and where that pack goes. But if that pack keeps getting into mess and keeps getting into trouble, well, then the other wolves will think, well, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Let's kill him. Now, that may seem brutal, but sometimes that is what's necessary to save the rest of the pack. When something happens to the body, what do you look at? The brain, the head. So it's not as easy as it seems. So we have to more to, I guess this is just me saying, appreciate those who have been put in place for us to follow. Because no matter how much they say it's not easy, we can't even imagine until we're put in that. But we may not be destined to be put in that. So the least we can do is show appreciation. The least we can do is be obedient. But like I said, it's not so easy. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And I'm almost done because I know my dad is getting long-winded too. And he has to follow after me. Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. If you're there, say yes. Yes. Hallelujah. It says, and now, Israel, what is your Yahweh, your Elohim, asking of you? It's a question. What else? What does he want? He says, but to fear Yah, your Elohim, 1, to walk in all his ways, 2, and to love him, 3, and to serve Yah, your Elohim, with all your heart and with all your being. There I go again. All your being. That means self can't be in the way. That means the desire to keep self can't be in the way. So if we want to seem like we're there, if it seems like we're holy and Kodash, well then here we go. Chapter 10, verse 12, there is one commandment that we're not keeping. Right? Isn't that a commandment? That's his whole expectation of us. with all your heart and with all your being. If we're not doing that, then we're not doing it at all. You can't obey a commandment part way. We can't do that. You got to go all the way. Even just with observing the Shabbat. We can't observe the Shabbat halfway. It doesn't end once lunchtime comes. It doesn't even end when the sun's about to go down. When does it end? When it goes down. But sometimes we don't even want to observe the Sabbath all the way. Huh? Is it just me? Sometimes, what we've done throughout the whole week, we're just so tired. And I get that. Not everyone is as young as me. But I'm not going to lie, even me, I get sleepy. And sometimes that's fine, because what is the Shabbat? It's a rest. As long as we're in the body, we're observing Him, we're praising Him, and we have Him in our heart, then a little rest won't be so bad. Because if you have Him in your heart, if we have Him inside of us, even if we're taking a nap, guess what's going to go through in our brain? Huh? Him. We're still growing inside. But what's the number one requirement? Have Him inside of us. And that is where a lot of us, including me, become hypocrites. Because no matter what we say, no matter how we act, some of us, most of us, maybe all of us, are not doing that. And that's a grievous thing. That's something we need to change immediately. Because it's scary, right? No one is promised tomorrow. No one is promised the next 10 minutes. What did the word say? If a righteous man scarcely make it in, right? Now, I'll take it another step. If a man lives righteous his whole life, and then he sins a moment before he dies, what happens? All his righteousness is forgotten. The word says, think on these matters. Not think of them once or twice or 10 million times. Just constantly think on them. Because if we die and the mind of Almighty Yah is not in us, then we are just like that righteous man, that man who lived righteous his whole life and sin and then die. Now, that might seem, Father, that seems too harsh. Right? It seems a little bit too harsh. I mean, we've done this. I've done this my whole life. I've had you in my mind my whole life. And then I got a little bit out of the way and then I die and then I lost everything. Well, then, look at this for a second. Are your righteous deeds yours? No. Right? Even Yeshua said, these things I'm saying, these things I'm doing, not mine. And He's the Word. How much less are we? Huh? So no matter what we think about ourselves, no matter how righteous we think we are, we're not even a fraction. Because that's His righteousness that's in us.